This is Eric Muathe, Muathe.com, for February 21st, 2020. The market just opened here. It's been open for about 4 minutes. Just want to show you what I'm looking at here in terms of the RSI and what we can expect for the rest of the day for those who like to trade in terms of the small time frame. So the key here for the day is, remember, this is an options expiration day, but we can see here that what's going to determine whether we get a big move in the market by the end of the day is whether we move below RSI 50 or whether the Dow can hold above RSI 50. Right now, the Dow creeping to that level, trading at 50.48 on its daily RSI. So which means that if it slips below 50 and stays below 50, expect a big down day in the general market. Talking about 1 to 2%, even more is possible, as long as the Dow cracks below 50 and stays below 50. Generally, when you drop below 50, you tend to close towards the lows of the session. It's a quick video in terms of an educational understanding of how markets respond to certain levels on the RSI. So, alright, what I decided to do is fast forward to the end of the session. This is about 1 minute to go before the end of the session. And the Dow is down about 0.82%, not as much as I thought. And we can see here the reason could be because of the 2 hourly. I'll offer that as a reason. Again, this is just for those who are trading in the small time frame. And we can see here, if I draw a line connecting recent RSI lows, the market is coming to a little bit of a stop here on the way down on the 2 hourly right there. If we take a look at the Dow from a daily look, we can see that the RSI is, yes, below 50, which might explain why we are seeing the general market having that relatively expanded move to the downside, with the leadership being on the Nasdaq down about 1.8%. And we'll see how it closed, but this is going to be the market closing towards the lows of the session, as is generally the case when we have the RSI moving below 50 on the daily. So as we come to the end of the session, a couple of seconds here before the close, and there is the close. We can see the Dow confirming down for the day, down about 0.8%. And again, now all depends on how it's going to respond with that 2 hourly on the S&P 500. One more time. Let's take a look here. We can see this line continues to hold. And depending on how the Dow is going to respond the next couple of days, whether it holds the RSI 50 generally, as it's done over the last couple of months, coming to this area has been where the market has been stopping on the way down and going to new highs. You can see this was uniform activity on 2 occasions, back above 50 for the lows here before going to new highs. So what happens here around RSI 50 should determine where the market is going to be going in the coming weeks and in the coming months. So what I've decided to do here is fast forward to the next trading day, and here we can see that the markets are seeing a big drop. So what we're going to do is take a look at where the RSIs for the daily closed for the major averages. If you take a look here, this is where the Dow closed on Friday with a little bit of an expanded move to the downside, but now we are seeing things really pick up. And we can take a look at where the S&P 500 closed on Friday, today being a Monday. S&P 500 closed at 53.66, and as it moves below 50, of course we know it's going to be a big down day, which might explain why, from a technical standpoint, the market is seeing this expanded move in the general market. Now, to complete this video, remember, this is not an everyday action where you see the market gap down. This is a gap down move. The market did open close to these levels. Nasdaq down about 3.4. The Dow and S&P pretty much for the most part we can say down 3% at the open and still holding on to those levels. And if we take a look at the other major average as of Friday's close, the Nasdaq closed with its RSI at 55, almost 56. So if something was to happen in the market and it drops below 50, expect a big down day, which is exactly what we are seeing. And now let's take a look at the current values in terms of RSI, and we can see the Nasdaq down below 50, S&P 500, we can see the Nasdaq below 50, big down day, S&P 500 also now below 50, big down day. And generally when you close below 50 or move below 50, you tend to close towards the lows of the session. And of course we can see the Dow trading at about 36. And guys, that's how you can use the RSI crossing as it goes through 50 above or below to gauge the kind of magnitude and how big of a size a move can be. Here we can see on the downside markets slashing below RSI 50, and pretty much we can see the reaction in the market has been for a big down move. What can save this market is if it can recover back above 50 as soon as possible to keep the momentum and the current charts unbroken. Eric Muathe, Muathe.com. As always, good luck, peace, and blessings. EACS.